A pleasant day, sir. I'm Rosalina M. Diao, the first reporter to present in Group 2. Our topic is all about futsal. So what is futsal? Futsal is a football-based game played on a hard court smaller than a football pitch, mainly indoors. So the game futsal is an indoor game. It has similarities to 5A-side football and indoor football. Futsal is played between two teams of 5 players, just like basketball games that has 2 teams of 5 players each, one of whom is the goalkeeper. And in futsal game, unlimited substitutions are permitted, unlike in other games that their substitutions are limited only. Now, we all know what is futsal. So now, let's talk about the history of futsal. The origin of futsal, of 5A-side soccer, can be traced back to Montevideo, Uruguay in 1930. So this futsal game started in Montevideo, Uruguay in the year 1930, when Juan Carlos Soriani devised a 5A-side version of soccer for youth competition in YMCAs, or Young Men Christians Associations. The game is played on a basketball-sized court, both indoors and out, without the use of sidewalls. The game is frequently referred to as 5A-side or mini soccer. So this game futsal is frequently referred to as 5A-side or mini soccer. Once Soriani got the ball rolling, futsal gained rapid popularity throughout South America, particularly in Brazil. So, with Soriani devised futsal, it gained rapid popularity throughout South America and particularly in Brazil. The skill developed in this game is visible in the world-famous style. The Brazilians display outdoors on the full-side field. Pelé, Zico, Socrates, Bebeto, and other Brazilian superstars developed their skill playing futsal. So, the Brazilian superstars like Pelé, Zico, Socrates, Bebeto, and other Brazilian developed their skill by playing futsal. While Brazil continues to be the futsal hub of the world, the game is now played under the auspices of FIFA, or Federation Internationale de Football Association, all over the world, from Europe to North and Central America, and the Caribbean, South America, Africa, and Asia and Oceania. And that's the history of futsal. And now, let's talk about the history of the name futsal. The term futsal is now the international term used for the game. It was created first by Alexander Para. So the term futsal is now the international term used for the game, and the one who created it is si Alexander Para. For then, the US Mini Soccer Federation, or USMF, Mr. Para, knowing that having the term soccer in its name made it hard to obtain gym from school, since most schools thought that a soccer ball in a gym would damage their facilities. He looked for a word like Nike or Kodak that would describe the sport and be able to be used in any language of the world. So Mr. Para looked for a word like Nike or Kodak because when we use soccer, the school will not permitted it because since a soccer ball would damage, they thought that a soccer ball would damage their facilities. That's why he looked for a word like Nike or Kodak that would describe the sport and be able to be used in any languages of the world. While in Spain in early 1985, he noticed that the Spanish, like the Brazilians, called the sport with similar names. The Portuguese or Spanish word for soccer is futebol or football, and for indoor it is salon or sala. At the FIFUSA World Championship, The organizers used the term futsal in their program. Upon seeing this, Mr. Para decided to merge the two words and came up with the word futsal. Upon his return from the World Championship, Mr. Para proposed to the board of USMF that it change its name to include the new word futsal. For those that were skeptic, he mentioned that the new word included in the initials futsal is the initial of USA. The new word was adopted by US Mini Soccer Federation in 1986 when it changed its California corporate name to United States Futsal Federation. It also had the term futsal trademark in Patent and Trademark Office in the United States in 1989. And in 1989, at the meeting of integration between FIFA and FIFUSA, the old governing body of saloon football, Mr. Para proposed that the new name that FIFA had planned for the sport in the second FIFA 5A-side World Championship to be held in Hong Kong in 1992 be changed for the third World Championship in Spain to futsal. It was Mr. Farah's view that the new term 5A side would change depending in which language you were speaking, and that a new game should have a name that would not change. Dr. Havelange, then president of FIFA, accepted the idea and had the term incorporated into Article 27 that states, "The Committee for Soccer that is played in reduced areas called Salon Soccer or 5A side shall from now on be called Futsal. All FIFA Futsal World Championships since 1996 have used the name Futsal, and that the history of the name Futsal."
My name is Sofia Mabel Timbal. Here are the following futsal laws of the game sections. Law A, the pitch. Law B, the ball. Law C, the players. Law D, the duration of the match. Law E, the start and restart of a play. Law F, determining the outcome of a match. Law G, fouls and misconduct. I'll be discussing the Law A and B, which is the pitch and the ball. Law A, the pitch. Pitch surface. The pitch used for futsal must be rectangular, and the surface of the pitch must be flat and smooth. So this is an example of a futsal pitch. It must be flat and smooth, and this is the pitch markings. As you can see, this area is penalty mark. This is the goal line, second penalty mark, and over here is the touch line. This is the century circle, the halfway, another penalty area over here, and goal. This is the substitution zone. So let's proceed to the pitch dimension. The length of the touch line must be greater than the length of the goal line. All lines must be 8 cm wide. So this is an example of a pitch dimension for non-international matches, as you can see. And this is the example for international matches. The radius of century circle is 3 meters. And this is the penalty area. As you can see, na sila'y mga tagsa-tagsa nga sukod. Naay duha ka penalty marks. Mauni ang una nga penalty marks. Ikaduha is ang kani. Ang sukod sa unang penalty marks is 6 meters. Ang ikaduha is 10 meters. So makabantay mo na ay dot dire tulo man siguro ni. Ang isig ka kilid na ay sukod nga 5 meters kalayoon gikan sa dot sa penalty mark. Isig ka kilid 5 meters ang sukod. Kani, as you can see sa rectangle na ay 4 ka corner. Each corner over here, each corner arc has a radius of 25 centimeter. And this one, 5 meters from the corner arc and the rectangle to the goal line to show the distance to be observed when a corner kick is taken. So let's proceed to the goals. The goals. A goal must be placed at the center of each goal line. A goal consists of 2 upright posts, equidistant from the corner of the pitch and joined at the top by a horizontal crossbar. So this is an example of goals. The goal must have a stabilizing system to prevent from overturning. Have a distance of 3 meters between the inside of the post and ang iyang sukod gikan sa ubos to ibabaw is 2 meters above the ground. And this is the net where attached to the post with a length of 80 centimeter from the top and 100 centimeter ground level. So let's proceed to the low B, the ball. The ball must be spherical and made of suitable materials. The ball must not bounce lower than 50 centimeter or higher than 65 centimeter. The first rebound when dropped from a height of 2 meter. The circumference of the ball must be 62 to 64 centimeter and the weight of the ball must be 400 to 440 grams and the pressure equal to 0.4 to 0.6 atmosphere at sea level. And the following others will be discussed by my co-members.
My name is Ara Ebermoy, and I'll be the one who will discuss the low C and D of futsal. The low C is the players. Number of players. A match is played by 2 teams, each with a maximum of 5 players, one of whom must be the goalkeeper. A match may not start or resume if either team has fewer than 3 players. So, ang duha nga futsal naay duha ka grupo na nagkonsist og 5 ka players. Unya isa na dadto ang goalkeeper. Ug ang duha dili maka-start or resume kung naay isa ka team nga kuwang or less than 3 players. Number of substitutions and substitutes. An unlimited number of substitutions may be made during a match. In official competitions, a maximum of 9 substitutes may be used in a match played in official competition, while other matches or in unofficial competitions, a maximum of 10 substitutes may be used. Substitution procedure. A substitution may be made at any time, whether the ball is in play or not, except during a timeout. So, ang substitution, pwede ka makasubstitute sa imong ka-co-players bisan unsang orasa, except para man jud sa timeout. kay di dyan na pwede. To replace a player with a substitute, here are the following applies. First, the player being substituted leaves the pitch via his or her own team's substitution zone. So, meaning ana, ang player nga masubstitutan, muhawa sa pitch pinaagi sa ilang assigned substitution zone. Next, the player being substituted does not need to obtain either of the referee's permission to leave the pitch. Ang player nga masubstitutan, no need na nga mangayog permission sa referee para muhawa sa pitch or sa duwa. Next, the referees do not need to authorize the substitute to enter the pitch. Then, the substitute only enters the pitch after the player being replaced has left. Ang substitute makasulod na sa pitch once ang iyang gi-substitutan minggawas na or minghawa na sa duwa. And from that moment, the substitute becomes a player and the player who has been replaced becomes a substitute. The player replaced may take a further part in the match. Ang player nga ni puli pwede nang makaduwa og dugay or taas-taas nga time within a match. All substitutes are subject to the authority and jurisdiction of the referees, whether called upon to play or not. Next is changing the goalkeeper. So, here are some rules in changing the goalkeeper. The first rule means ang goalkeeper pwedeng mapulihan samtang nag-penalty shootout kung na-injury ang goalkeeper. Ang sunod, bisan kinsang player ang pwedeng makapuli sa goalkeeper. Subalit, mapulihan na sa player during sa paghunong sa duwa. Ug dapat mo inform una sa referee before magbaylo. Next, and the last one is ang mingpuli nga player sa goalkeeper dapat magsuot og goalkeeper's jersey with his or her own jersey number sa likod. So, we'll be moving to the law D in futsal, which is the duration of the match. This law tackles about the periods of the play, ending the periods of the play, timeout, during a timeout, halftime interval, and abandon match. We'll tackle first the periods of the play. The match lasts for 2 equal periods of 20 minutes of playing time, which may only be reduced if permitted by competition rules. So, ang futsal game lasts approximately 40 minutes and consists of 2 periods, and each period will last for 20 minutes. Second is ending the periods of the play. The timekeeper signals the end of each 20 minutes period with an acoustic signal. Ang timekeeper maoy mo signal basta mo end na ang 20 minutes gamit ang acoustic signal or ang buzzer. Next is the timeout. The teams are entitled to a 1-minute timeout in each period. So, here are the following conditions apply. First is the team officials are authorized to submit a request for a 1-minute timeout to the third referee or to the timekeeper if there is no third referee, using the document provided. So meaning ana, ang team official mao'y dapat nga mo-submit og request para sa 1-minute timeout ato sa third referee or sa timekeeper gamit ang document nga gihatag or gi-provide. And the timekeeper grants a timeout when the team that has requested it is in possession of the ball and the ball is out of play, using a different whistle or acoustic signals from the ones used by the referees. So, makakuha na po ang timekeeper maka-grant sa 1-minute timeout kung ang nag-request nga team na-up nila ang bola. So, here are also the following conditions during a timeout. The players may remain on or off the pitch. In order to have a drink, the players must leave the pitch. The substitutes must stay off the pitch. Officials are not allowed to give instructions on the pitch. Substitutions may only be made after the acoustic signal or whistle has sounded to indicate the end of the timeout. A team that does not request a timeout in the first period of the match is still only entitled to one timeout during the second period. If there is neither a third referee or a timekeeper, a team official may ask the referee for a timeout. And last, there are no timeouts allowed during the extra time if played. Next is the halftime interval. In halftime interval, the players are entitled to an interval at halftime, not exceeding 15 minutes, and a short drink break and extra time. So, between the two 20-minute periods of a futsal game, there is traditionally a 15-minute interval. During the halftime interval, the player can rest, strategize, and prepare for the second period of the game. The length of the halftime interval can be altered, but this must be done with the referee's consent. And lastly is the abandoned match. The match is abandoned if one of the team has fewer than 3 players on the pitch. An abandoned match is replayed unless the competition rule or organizer determine otherwise. So, ang abandoned match maduwa ra og balik depende kung unsay decision sa mga organizer, kung ipadayon ba or dili, kung kuwang ang player sa pikas.
Good day everyone, I'm Leia Marbihanyola and I'm going to discuss the start and restart of a play and determine the outcomes of a match in futsal laws of the game. So first is the start and restart of a play. There are 2 ways to start of a play, the kick-off and the drop ball. First is the kick-off. There are primary time for kick-off is to start the game, to start the second half, and after any goal is scored. So the following are the procedures in kick-off. So a coin is tossed and the team that wins the toss makadecide kung asa nga goals mo na hintahay. Team A and Team B. Ang nadaog is Team A. Then ang Team A na ay makadecide sila kung unsay kinsa mauna or sila ba or ang Team B. So if ang Team A gipili nga mauna ang Team B, so ang the first half nga muna og game is the Team B. And in the second half na mo start the game is the Team A. The team having change ends at halftime. All players except the player taking kick-off must be in their own half of the pitch. Once the referee whistles, the ball is in play when it is kicked and clearly moves. A goal may be scored directly against the opponent from the kick-off. The offenses and sanctions. If the player taking the kick-off, then gihawiran niya ang bola bago na ay nakahawid og lain, an indirect free kick or direct free kick is awarded. Next is drop ball. When the referee stops the game, takes the ball and each team comes next to each other and he drops the ball. Some reasons could be a drop ball is when the ball is came up in the two players at the exact same time, cause out of bounds causes no distinct who. Wa ka ba og kinsay naka-out, so mo to mag-kon sila og drop ball. Next is the both team have fight or foul, so the play will start with a drop. Before a drop, ang bola sa referee or all other players of both team must remain at least 2 meters from the ball until is in play. Then the ball play when it touches the pitch. Next is the offenses and sanctions. The ball is dropped again o na-touch sa player ang bola before pa ni-touch sa pitch. Goes out of a play after it touched the pitch without touching a player. If a drop ball enters the goal without touching at least 2 players, play is restart with a goal clearance or a corner kick. However, if a drop ball enters either goal without touching at least 2 players due to circumstance beyond the control of the team to whom it is dropped, such as weather conditions or being improper drop, the ball should be dropped again. The following are other restart of the game includes free kicks, direct or indirect, penalty kicks, kicks in, goal clearances, and corner kicks. 4 kicks in, free kicks, goal clearances, and corner kicks. The player in position of the ball has 4 seconds to restart play, which the referee will count with fingers in the air. If play is not restarted within 4 seconds, an indirect kick will be awarded to the opposing team. Determining the outcomes of a match. Goal scored. The goal is scored ug ang tibuok nga bola mingsod sa goal line, pero ug wa na ra sa goal line, not counted. No goal. If the referee signals a goal before the ball has passed wholly over the goal line and makarealize siya sa iyang mistake, so the play is restart with a drop ball. Next is the winning team. So the highest goal during the match is the winner, pero kung equal sila og score or no goals are scored, it means the match is drawn. Next, a penalty kick is awarded against the team that omits any of the offenses for which a direct free kick is awarded but inside their own penalty area. The ball is placed on the penalty mark and the penalty taker identified or katong player nga mo takes sa penalty. The defending goalkeeper must remain on his goal line and all other players must be behind the penalty mark and at least 5 meters away from the penalty mark. Both teams have taken 5 kicks and both sides have scored the same number of goals or haven't scored any goals. The taking of the penalty kicks will continue in the same order until one team has scored 1 goal more than the other team. And the last is away goals. Away goals means that if the team score is level after playing 1 home and 1 away game, the goals scored in the away match count as double. Extra time consists of 2 periods of 5 minutes. If no winner is produced after these methods, 5 penalties are taken and the team that have scored the most wins.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. I'm Geraldine A. Naibi. My topic is all about fouls and misconduct and free kick. First, I discuss the fouls and misconduct. Fouls and misconduct. Direct and indirect free kick and penalty kick can only be awarded for offenses committed when the ball is in play. So, ang team or player can only be awarded or give free kick or penalty kick kung makahimo silang mga offenses committed or fouls when the ball is in play or kung nagduwa. Direct free kick. A direct free kick is awarded if a player commits any of the following offenses against an opponent in a manner considered by the referees to be careless, reckless, or using excessive force. So, ang direct free kick kuno is awarded kung na ay usa ka player na nakabuhat or naka-comments any of the following offenses against an opponent in a manner or against sa mga kaatbang nga player or laing team nga nag-consider by the referee nga dili maayo o dili sakto ang gibuhat or excessive force. Excessive force means kanang sobra nga forsa or force kanang makasakit na kaslaing team or player maunay excessive force. Here are some following offenses. Charging, jumping at, kicking or attempts to kick, pushing, striking or attempts to strike, including the headbutt, tackling or challenges, tripping or attempts to trip. Indirect free kick. An indirect free kick is awarded if a player plays in a dangerous manner as defined below, impedes the progress of an opponent without any contact being made. It means that a player blocks or obstructs the movement of an opponent without making physical contact with them, which is considered a violation of the rules and can result in an indirect free kick being awarded to the opposing team. Is guilty of dissent using offensive, insulting, or abusive language and or gestures or other verbal offenses. So, it's mean they have broken the rules of fair play in futsal and can face penalties such as an indirect free kick or being cautioned or sent off. It is important for all players to conduct themselves in a respectful and sportsmanlike manner while playing the game. Prevents the goalkeeper from releasing or throwing the ball from the hands or kicks or attempts to kick the ball when the goalkeeper is in the process of releasing or throwing it. So, it means that a player on the opposing team has interfered with the goalkeeper's ability to release the ball by either physically blocking or attempting to block the goalkeeper or the ball or kicking the ball when the goalkeeper is attempting to release it. So, importante jud nga tanang player ilang i-allow ang goalkeeper to distribute or releasing the ball without interference in order to maintain the fair play. Commits any other offense not mentioned in the futsal laws for which play is stopped to caution or send off a player. So, it means that if a player commits any other type of offense that is not physically mentioned in the futsal laws and cause play to be stopped, the referee may caution or send off the player as a penalty for their action. Ang kanang caution or cautionable offenses mo na si Jai. Itong yellow card, ang referee mo raise ijang arm. Then, ang kutong send off offenses mo to sa red card. Now, I discuss the free kick topic. Here are some examples of free kicks. And also, I have a video here.
It's Oscar! Oh, yes! Absolutely brilliant! What a stunner!
Oscar just shows in the eyes as if he's going that way, then he goes the other, but it's inch perfect. I don't think he'd have saved it anyway.
Oh, how a goal! That was absolutely brilliant! It is Louise!
Absolute perfection. He has struck this so Alex with the thunderbolt swerving away. Well struck, isn't it? Absolutely inch perfect.
So that is the examples of free kick. There are two types of free kick, the direct free kick and indirect free kick. Direct and indirect free kicks are awarded to the opposing team of a player, substitute, send-off player, or team officially guilty of an offense. Ang pasabot ani is kung ang player, substitute, send-off player, or team official commits an offense or sayop during the game, the opposing team will be awarded either a direct or indirect free kick. Depende sa type o kagrabe sa sayop nga gibuhat. The 4-second count must be shown clearly by one of the referees when a direct and indirect free kick is taken. It's mean that the referee who overseeing the free kick must clearly signal the 4-second countdown to ensure that the opposing team has enough time to move back to the required distance and that the player taking the kick waits for referee signal before taking the kick. Indirect free kick signal. The referees indicate an indirect free kick by raising one arm above the head. This signal is maintained until the kick has been taken and the ball touches another player or goes out of play. So, mo-signal ang referee to indicate that indirect free kick has been awarded or given to a team. Ang referee mo raise ijang usa ka arm above their head and keep it there until the kick has been taken and the ball touches another player or goes out of play. Kaning signal is gigamit ni to notify the players, coaches, and spectators that the upcoming kick is an indirect free kick and not a direct free kick or a penalty kick. Kaning spectators mao ni ang people who watch the game. An indirect free kick must be retaken if either or both of the referees fails to signal that the kick is indirect and the ball is kicked directly into the goal. So, ang indirect free kick is taken or has been performed and the ball is kicked directly into the goal without the referee signaling that the kick is indirect. The kick will not count and the kick must be retaken. This is because an indirect free kick must be signaled by the referees to inform the players that the ball cannot be kicked directly into the goal. And if the referees fail to do so, it could cause confusion and unfair play. Ball enters the goal. If a direct free kick is kicked directly into the opponent's goal, a goal is awarded. This means that the ball must pass completely over the goal line, between the goal post and under the crossbar, without any other players touches it before it goes in. If an indirect free kick is kicked directly into the opponent's goal, a goal clearance is awarded to the opponents unless the indirect free kick signal was not made by either or both of the referees. So this means that the game resumes or magpadayon with a goal kick taken by a player from the defending team, and the attacking team does not get credit for a goal. However, if the referee did not signal that the free kick was indirect, the goal counts. If a direct or indirect free kick is kicked directly into the kicker's own goal, a corner kick is awarded to the opponent. So this means that the game resumes with a corner kick taken by a player from the attacking team, and the defending team does not get credit for a goal. Overall, these rules ensure that the goals are only awarded when a team has successfully and fairly scored against their opponents, and that accidental or own goals do not result in unfair advantages. Procedure: all free kicks must be taken within 4 seconds from the place where the offense occurred, except in certain situations such as direct free kicks to the defending team in its penalty area. Indirect free kicks for certain offenses inside the penalty area are taken from the penalty area line at the point nearest to the place where the offense was committed or the ball was located. So this means that the player taking the free kick must place the ball on the penalty area line at the point nearest to the offense or the ball's location and take the free kick from that spot, following an imaginary line parallel to the touchline as illustrated in the image below. Free kicks for offenses involving a player entering, re-entering, or leaving the pitch without permission, which are taken from the position of the ball when the play was stopped, unless play was stopped with the ball inside the penalty area, in which case the free kick is to be taken from the penalty area line at the point nearest to the place where the ball was located when play was stopped, following an imaginary line parallel to the touchline. See the image above. However, if a player commits an offense off the pitch, play is restarted with a free kick taken on the boundary line nearest to where the offense occurred. A penalty kick is awarded if this is a direct free kick offense and the closest boundary line point lies on the part of the goal line that belongs to the offender's penalty area. Overall, these rules or procedure are designed to ensure fair play and maintain the integrity of the game by penalizing players for entering or leaving the field without permission, and by awarding free kicks or penalty kicks depending on the location and nature of the offense. And lastly, all free kick must be taken where the law designates another position. That's all for my topic.
Basic skills of futsal.
Passing.
Mechanics of passing.
Receiving.
Mechanics of receiving.
Trapping.
Mechanics of trapping.
Dribbling.
Mechanics of dribbling.
Shooting.
Mechanics of shooting.